Hello, hello. Welcome to the news. This week we have news of aircraft, some scenery, and even a plug-in. Don't go anywhere. So I am joined once again by your man who doesn't land as nicely as Murph. It's GibboIreland. How's it going, Gibbo?
Hey Murph, how you doing? Good to see you. There's lots going on, lots to share with people. There's so much news out there, so excited to jump into it.
Nice. 1 feet per minute, or 1 foot per minute we got. But anyway, we'll start off with the good stuff. Gibbo, what's happening? News, of course, of PMDG. What's the story?
737, of course, goes without saying, Murph. So we've known for a while that 737 was close from PMDG. There's only actually 2 issues that have been remaining, according to Robert Randazzo, and one of which was the now infamous, I suppose, landing bug that has gained notoriety on the Flying Fabio's live stream. But the good news is that the team at PMDG have managed to get some data to get to the bottom of the issue. They're working extensively with the SOBO on it. And after that fix is tested, they do plan, all things going well, to release it ideally this weekend. So, yeah, it's exciting. Now, PMDG have been releasing a lot of videos on their YouTube channel about the 737. If you're interested in seeing it in action, a snippet of some of them are what we're showing here. But I think once we get confirmation from PMDG that the fix has been found, we'll start to hear, confirmation as to release date from PMDG as well as the pricing. So we're very close now, Murph. This has to be the most exciting and hyped release, yet.
It absolutely is, and I can't wait for it because, from my own perspective, doing a bit of a transition between the general aviation into the airliners, which I did with the 146, and you talk about reigniting your passion for flight simulation. And as much as I love general aviation flying, there's always been that I want to fly that big, massive yoke over there, and it's what a time to be in, kind of this realm of flight simulation, because there's so much cool stuff coming out. But really looking forward to that. So moving on, other stuff in terms of jets on the horizon here, and this one, which is a project that we know between we knew it as the Honda Jet. It's rebranded as the Hjet. What do we know about this one?
Yeah, so Flight FX are involved here. They made an announcement in the past week or so that an agreement had been reached with Marwan Garib, the developer of the Honda Jet for Microsoft Flight Sim, to bring his work to Microsoft Flight Simulator under the Flight FX brand. Flight FX say that the partnership aligns with the vision of both parties and allows the now being called Hjet to become available that bit more quickly, and fits in nicely with their other business jet, the Vision Jet. So we have commented already about the name, right? So we are expecting some difficulties about the name and the licensing with Honda, of course, for this release. They're not too comfortable with their names being used for virtual use, so as such they're rebranding it to Hjet. So Marwan and Flight FX are expecting to make public a release date for Xbox and PC users within the next week or so. Nice. They have set the price, and that will be $24.99, and they say that they're setting it at that price point because they feel it answers simmers' desire for quality modeling, attention to detail, and realism without breaking the bank. So this looks incredible as well, I gotta say.
It really does.
You anything more to share, Murph, that you can share?
I can tell you everything I'm not allowed to tell you. I can't tell you yet. But I will say this, right? As a business jet, which offers a very new perspective between your general aviation and the heavy airliners. You have your business jets and all the corporate flights and everything that they entail, right? This particular aircraft in real life, the Honda Jet, they also have a Medivac version in real life. It'll be interesting to see if that's a something, or maybe even a livery might pop up. That could make things very interesting indeed. But also the Alpha Tauri, is it Alpha Tauri? It used to be the little brother sister thing of Red Bull Racing, the Formula One team. They actually use these jets as a corporate jet. And it looks fantastic, I have to say. From the images that we're seeing here, it looks like a beautiful design and a very interesting jet. So yeah, I think Honda, it's not to say they're the only ones in the aviation world that don't want their aircraft kind of simulated. Gulfstream do the same. You can't get a licensed Gulfstream aircraft. I can't wait for someone to release the G Jet. gee, do you know what I mean? That could be a bit of crack. But no, I'm really looking forward to this, and it looks fantastic. So let's see how it goes with that. So moving over to me now, and I have to read out a spiel. This, of course, friends, is from Hype Performance Group, and it is an official add-on pack to the H145, the Airbus H145 helicopter. Now, how this works, you need to already own the base pack. This is an add-on to the base. It's an expansion to the base pack. You can't just buy the base pack. So they've released the first one. They're working on a few other ones. They were doing like search and rescue one. They were doing a firefighter one. And this is known as the HEMS variant, meaning Helicopter Emergency Medical Services, which includes a search and rescue variant. The 145 has been available for a while in the sim, and don't forget, High Performance Group offer an amazing freeware H135. Just to give you kind of a feeling, are these things the sort of things you want to fly in the sim? And I gotta say, they've done an amazing job when it comes to the sounds, the flight modelling, how the thing handles in general, and also the performance has been very, very good indeed. So with that, they kind of got all the feedback and they went ahead with a payware product, which is the 145. This now being an official expansion. Now, I messed around with this. I've already done a preview of it, and it's awesome, right? I mean, you can, you fly your chopper in, you can drop the dude down on a winch. He picks up, poor old Devil number 1. You can hoist him back into the chopper, and then away you go. It also comes with like an inbuilt mission system, whereby you're flying along, you get the call, you got to go to, say, a vehicle collision, and there's people who are injured, you got to fly them off to different locations. The whole thing is done really, really well. So this is now out. It's now available. And it's the first part of this expansion pack. They're going to be releasing further packages a little bit later on, the other variants. It's available now as early access. It's $35. Bearing in mind, this is an expansion to the base pack, which you also need, which is $39, I think. So you're probably up in around $70 here to have this. Now, people are saying, why would you want to spend all that money? You're technically getting, 4 or 5 different variants of helicopter, all various different performances. There's so much customization. You can turn things on and off. You can have it to have, different modeling on the outside. Anything from a winch to the types of skis and skids to wire cutters. There's a whole ton of stuff you can do. Plus the doors open, the crew is animated. It's absolutely fantastic. I'm just waiting for like the scenery that will really support this sort of flying, because it is kind of weird still in the sim. You land down beside of something and it has the whole melting wax kind of a look, texture to it. It'd be interesting to see how this works with that new Orbex, or not Orbex, Aerosoft's the North Sea add-on with oil rigs and all this kind of jazz. So yeah, really looking forward to this one. So moving on, what's the story here, Gibbo?
TFDI Design are behind this, Murph. This is a little update that they have to packs, first of all. So starting with this, they have added a few new features that will come in handy when trying to keep us and our virtual passengers entertained during the flight. So before each flight, they'll now have a visual representation of the passengers on board, as well as a new in-flight entertainment section has been added. And this new section allows you as the pilot to stay informed with the latest news that is directly supplied by them, and also the ability to sit back and listen to Jetstream radio, which is kind of cool. So that's a nice little update to PAX, which we love. And the MD-11, moving swiftly on, TFDI Design said that while we do not have an official timeline for release and testing, just know we are progressing at rates never even imagined during our production. So you can see, if you're able to move on to that video, Murph, the modeling and texturing of the MD-11 as Murph urgently presses buttons. There, you got it in the end. I knew you would, Murph. I knew you'd come through.
Thanks.
So yeah, here's some preview images. We can see the modeling and texturing continue to be getting there from TFDI. They've begun work on the cargo and various engine variants of the plane. And in terms of systems and autopilot, they've been working hard to ensure it's realistic and functional within the simulator. So they're making progress on multiple fronts, really. They've even hired, various different resources to the team to really get this to us as soon as possible. So one to watch for sure, early days for sure, but exciting nonetheless.
Absolutely. And again, like that style of aircraft, that's the 3 engines, one built into it's fantastic looking. You know what I mean? So really, really looking forward to that one as well. I think with PAX, I think the nice feature with PAX is it's the fact that they're still developing it. I think that's absolutely awesome. I mean, you're using packs, right, Gibbo? I mean,
yeah, you sold me on it. Yeah, it's great.
It's great. Cool. That's what we like to hear. So, moving on. So, Gibbo, this picture, it wasn't a barbecue in the end.
Gibbo, I was right. I was right, huh?
Gibbo called it.
Well
news from India Foxed Echo, and they are now developing a Tornado aircraft for Microsoft Flight Simulator. So, we may now be at the beginning of airliner season in Microsoft Flight Sim, but that doesn't stop other developers working on the smaller aircraft options. This write-up that I'm reading from, of course, is from our good friends over at MSFSAddons.com. Do be sure to check out all the fantastic work that Vasco does over there, because he is the source of 99% of our news feeds. He's done up a great kind of a preview of what India Foxed Echo are working on here. They've already given kind of snippets of other different projects. This one, they're slating this not to be really kind of study level, but they are putting a lot of focus into the systems modeling, which could be huge. I mean, India Foxed Echo, they're one of the busiest developers out there at the moment. I mean, we're seeing release after release after release. I mean, the F-35, then we had that mad Su-31, and now this is kind of being cooked on as well. There's also the MB394, the 343. There's another MB in production here as well. It's on one or two of the screenshots. This is going to be incredible to have in the sim. I mean, the Tornado with that, swept wing design, it's amazing looking, and like these are very, very popular over this side of the pond. They're operated all over Europe, in the UK, in Germany, France, and the whole shebang. And I remember seeing these as a kid. It was a 346, yeah. I remember seeing these as a kid in Baldonnel at air shows, and I'll never forget the roars of them. Like, the Tornado has such a distinct sound. You kind of feel it in your chest before your ears realise it's a noise. So absolutely incredible stuff.
It has the swing wings like the F-14 as well, doesn't it?
A swing wing, yeah. So, and again, it'll be interesting to see how that's going to be implemented from India Foxed Echo, because I know there was a way to manually do it, but also there was a way to, it automatically happens depending on your speed. It essentially lowers the profile of the aircraft, allowing it to gain faster speeds while still remaining somewhat maneuverable at them. So it's pretty awesome, and it looks fantastic so far in the sim, So moving on. This is, I was scratching my head when I saw this, because what's the theme music of Roblox? Anyway, we'll go on. What do you think of it?
Roblox. This is the Saab 340 Murph from Next Gen Simulations. We did hear from them some time ago about this project, and now they're back with some more renders for us and images that we're able to share with you here, to share with us how they're getting on. So, yeah, we can see really when we're picking up from these images, the familiar fuselage of the 340 with, I think it looks like first textures at this point. They appear to be a little bit, weathered for that used look. The 340, of course, has been around for a while, so you would expect visuals to show some of the years that it's had of flying. Look, as it stands at the moment, as you can tell from these images, it's probably a little too early to jump to any conclusions. It's early days. It could certainly be improved, let's say. But it's one that we'll certainly keep watching. It promises good things if they can pull it off. The Saab 340, of course, in being a pressurized turboprop airliner, should hopefully be one that would be welcomed by simmers. So, we don't have too much more information from Next Gen, except to say that they are also integrating the GTN 750 and the TDS, avionics packages. That's planned as well. But that's about it for now. More to come soon, I'm sure.
I'm a little bit nervous of this. Like, pictures usually don't do the final product any justice. And yes, this is still very much in the development area, right? But you release something like a Saab 340. We're accustomed to two very good Saab 340s in flight simulation, right? And they both live over an X-plane, I think. You have the leading edge simulations Saab 340, which is slanted as a study level, and then Coronado did a fantastic rendition of one in X-plane as well. Both are very, very, very good. I don't know where this one is going to land. I mean, this aircraft, as I said, it's a pressurized turbo. They were operated by Aer Lingus. They're still in use, I think, by Logan Air. But it looks fantastic in terms of the modelling. The textures, don't know. But let's give it some time. We're going to watch this one very, very closely. Next Gen have done nice stuff in the past, so we'll definitely keep an eye on this to see what happens. So moving on. This airplane, keep it together. This airplane, it's based on a Ukrainian manufacturer, which was Aeropact. They built kind of microlights, but it's a newly established developer called Cockspur. They've released the Aeropact A22LS. It's the Foxbat for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, we did watch our good friend Two Cats stream some of this during the development process. It's a very interesting and weird and wonderful looking aircraft. The aircraft weighs just 260 kilograms when it's empty, and it's put together from a kit of 152 pieces. It'll give you a speed of over 100 miles per hour, a range in excess of 680 nautical miles, and it can carry one passenger. It's fitted with a Rotax A22LS 4-cylinder air-cooled engine. The aircraft includes 2 versions, and it comes with a realistic flight modelling based off the real-world data. It's easy to master aircraft, comes with various static elements that can be controlled within the sim cockpit, along with a fully modelled flaperons. Multiple liveries are also included, giving us the chance to fly around the world in a selection of colours. And this is kind of priced really, really well. This is only $14.99. It's available from Cockspur's website. Mind how you type that in. But anyway, what you get the 2 versions with or without the wheel fairings. You get a G3X display, static elements. You can switch between ASI units on the in-cockpit phone. Multiple liveries, controller friendly, and a realistic flight model. It's easy to master and it's fun to fly. So this is available right now. You just have to pick it up for the name alone. Jess, I got through it. Right, Gibbo, it's over to you now.
Yeah, Murph, we're talking about Burbank here from Orbex. So a bit of deja vu going on because Burbank is already out by Orbex, but they're back here with version 2. Version 2 is a completely reworked version of the original airport, which brings new texturing, modeling, and more. So Hollywood Burbank Airport version 2, since its original release, the main development team that Orbex assigned to this has refined their development techniques and skills, picked up new techniques along the way, and has come out with this version 2, which they feel is much more improved, as it no longer relies on the default texturing for the ground poly. So we can expect realistic, high-quality custom textures with accurate elevation profiles, and there's even new library objects such as static aircraft that are controllable from the control panel. So in the post by Orbex announcing this, they said that version 2 that replaces the original version that's currently for sale. What they'll do for those customers who have already the original version, they'll make it eligible to them at a 50% discount. And they're working with Microsoft at the moment on how to offer this to customers that purchase through the InSim marketplace. This is coming. They have not yet indicated a release date, but it's pretty ready. It's around the corner, I'm sure.
It's kind of weird, right? I mean, I love Orbex. I think they do amazing things. But here we have a scenery in which they're going to update, and they're looking to be paid for said update. This is probably the first paid update we have to do to an existing product from within Microsoft Flight Sim, within this new platform. And like, there is an interesting discussion to be had to say, well, you know, if you support aircraft development, we kind of expect that the developer is going to give it, you know, quality of life updates, keeping it current, keeping it up and running, and further enhancing the product. When it comes to scenery, we don't. It's pretty much fire and forget, and we're waiting for an update because, you know, you've modeled the tarmac is wrong, you've modeled this wrong, and so on and so forth. So you're thinking, well, why are they looking, you know, to be paid to get their scenery up to date? Or, you know what I mean? I understand that I understand that, you know, they're putting time into this, but at the same time, it's like, okay, so does that mean for every single Orbex product that I own, I'm liable to be hit with an upgrade price? That suddenly makes things a little bit dearer. And Orbex, who were one of the first developers to release on Microsoft Flight Sim, reduced their prices because they knew that there was a bigger market here. This is now doing something completely different. They're kind of putting the prices back up. So I don't know. I think it's an interesting discussion. I mean, look, I like Orbex. I love Orbex. I think they do great things. I'm just a little bit concerned about this because when I buy a scenery, that's it. I just want it to work. And if I see a better one okay, well then that'll say, well, no, this one is better because, you know, it's more up to date, or they've added more to it. And you know what I mean? Like, that could be like a flight Tampa versus someone else. I'll just be fair, their textures or whatever, you know. So I thought it was kind of interesting there. So yeah, we'll see what the story is. Here it is. I press the right button now. Gibbo, we covered this a couple of weeks ago. We were saying that Coronado were hot on the tails after releasing the BGs, right? Or the GB, rather, not the BGs. The GBs, right? Staying alive. I'll try and stay alive. They've now come back with a rendition of the cockpit of this fantastic Pilatus PC12. And I have to say, visuals, it looks stunning. Interesting to see, though, it's based off the older variant of the PC12. What do we know here?
Yeah, it's really these images, Murph, that we got to go by. You're right. The cockpit does look stunning, and that's very much, of course, Coronado's expertise, isn't it? You know, the visuals, and the PC12 here appears to be no exception. The modeling and the textures do look phenomenal. Console simmers, I suppose, will be happy to know that this is coming soon to the Xbox, and actually all Coronado's products are coming to the Xbox, and that's because of WASM support is currently expected in Sim Update 10. So as such, I think thereafter we'll expect an influx of new airplanes arriving on Xbox, which will include this PC12, hopefully, and most, if not all, in their product line as well. So they're refraining really from keeping the cards very close to their chest from sharing too much more on this. They're not giving us an estimate for release yet. And it's worth just mentioning as well that, of course, SimWorks Studios are also working on the same aircraft for Microsoft Flight Sim. So we'll see who gets there first and which is best. So it's more to come on this soon, I'm sure.
Nice. Just 1 second, Gibbo. Just want. Hello. Yes, Murph here. Go ahead. Carry on. Exciting news. Seemingly, Gibbo, Orbex have just reversed that decision that they're not going to charge people for the upgrade price for Burbank. Did you see how he transitioned that into the scene? Did you see? So, just to set the record straight, they're not charging.
I think it's actually because of us that they decided to do
100%.
that. So you're welcome,
they were sitting
everybody.
there watching it and they just said, no, hang on, we're not going to charge people for it at all. There we go. That's how you do a live recovery. Carry on. Right, where were we? We're over here with more buttons. Sure, look at this good looking fella here, right? Look at the head of this fella, right? Anyway, so what we're going to do this evening, after the news, we're going to show off the Cessna 310. It's a new one from Milviz, and it's absolutely fantastic. It is available for sale right now over on the Milviz website. It's priced at $39.99 US, and people who have purchased other Milviz products should be getting an email sent to them with a discount code of, I think, 5%. I can't wait to show this off a little bit later on. It's fully fledged at study level. It has features never seen before on any flight sim, the Dirty Bird, and it looks, sounds and flies incredibly well. And I can't wait to kind of show this off from a review perspective. But Gibbo, is this something that's on your list? Did you like the preview we did yesterday?
Yeah, for sure. And I know you've got some Easter eggs as well that you might show off too. The price is interesting, $39.89, because that's exactly the same as the 414 Chancellor, of course, which I do have. So I don't know if everybody else feels this way, but I'm kind of comparing the two. You know, I have the 414. Does this offer a ton more? Just off camera, Murph, you said to me, this is could you give a plane a 10 out of 10? Because if you could, you would with this one. So that's how highly you rate this.
Absolutely. In fact, my objective on the live review is to see where I can actually take points off. So it's super news, and it's great because you have all these fantastic airliners now starting to appear in the sim, and then out of nowhere you get this amazing general aviation offering. And I think anyone who's picking up this aircraft tonight, they're going to know it straight away. So so Milviz are giving it's $5 or 5%. I can't remember which it is. It's 5 something off. 5 off. Well, yeah. But anyway, it's available now over on the Milviz website. Just under pressure. Now, the last bit of news, I now need to read off my notes. So, this is interesting. Now, it's not available for Microsoft Flight Simulator yet. This is interesting, right? Just over a month ago, a brand new air traffic control system called FSHUD was announced by Flight 1. Flight 1 software, you guys may or may not know them, but they were behind a lot of the avionics packages you can get. They're behind the GTN 750s and 650s and so on and so forth back in the world of Flight Sim X and also P3D. Well, they're working on this. The tool is described as being a complete control of the air traffic within the simulator, both on the ground and in the air. This replaces the in-sim ATC, right? This is interesting. It manages all aspects of the traffic flow, communications through each stage of the flight, and each aircraft is managed by FSHUD and ensures that there will be no conflict whilst in the sky. The HUD panel is how you directly interact with the tool itself, in which you receive voice commands from the application, whilst you still need to use button control to respond, or you can select the choices presented to you by the virtual ATC. You can input your routing to the system, which will allow you to then fly the route, while ensures you don't get any air traffic conflicts. During your flight, you're able to interact with ATC, also hear different stylized voices. Right now, FSHUD is designed to work with IFR flying only, with VFR support coming in the near future. This is what's interesting. An interesting point on this, FSHUD also planned for Microsoft Flight Sim. The product page states, "We are planning to bring FSHUD to Microsoft Flight Sim. Note that some features may differ in Microsoft Flight Sim because there's differences in the simulator APIs." A lot of people have been asking about, can they do something different with the default ATC, right? Because it gets messy, right? Saab will have a bit of a head scratching moment to do there. And I would rather see third-party developers kind of pick up and bring it in a new direction. There's other kind of ways to work around it, and you might even say just go on to VATSIM or otherwise. But you have a lot of people who might want to learn, you know what I mean, get a very intuitive way of learning how ATC actually works. This product definitely looks like it's going to be that. So they're making it available over on P3D and FSX, and the plan is, well, they're going to launch it over here over on Microsoft Flight Sim. We shall be following this one very, very closely indeed. So again, a huge shout out to MSFSAddons.com, to Vasco, for giving us a hand with all the news. And well, Gibbo, we did it in one take. I'm brilliant, and I failed miserably at the same time. It's been wonderful. So don't forget, you will catch us over on our live streams every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 1900 Zulu time on twitch.tv/2TonMurphy. I'll see you there, and until the next time, take care.
Take care.